What's going on, guys? This is Rob, and this morning, when we were doing our Comics and Coffee, which is my weekly Q&A where I just answer the questions that you guys give me to the best of my ability, one of you guys had thrown out the comment of stating that the Infinity Stones, or at least as they've appeared in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, seem to spell out the word Thanos. That the Tesseract, which is the Space Stone, of course, starts with a T. That the Ether, which is the Reality Stone, starts with an A. That the Power Stone, which is the orb, starts with an O, and of course that the Scepter of Loki, which houses the Mind Stone, begins with an S. And so the question is, if this is true, if the Marvel Cinematic Universe is basically giving us a template whereby we can, guess in a more educated fashion what the Infinity Stones are, then the question becomes, if we don't know what the Soul Stone is, which presumably begins with the letter H, and we don't know what the Time Stone is, which again presumably begins with the letter N, then can we guess and be right? Can we get that accurate? And so what we're going to do in this video is we're going to put that to the test. We're going to see if we can't figure out where the Soul Stone is and where the Time Stone is. Now, in my personal opinion, we're going to go ahead and jump with the Soul Stone here, but in my personal opinion, there are two possibilities for the location of the Soul Stone. Because it starts with the letter H, it's one of two people. The first one is Heimdall, and Heimdall seems to be the most popular choice for the Soul Stone. And the reason why I say that is because with Heimdall, as we know, the Soul Stone is orange, and the eyes of Heimdall seem to be orange. But more so than that, people look at this sort of orb that seems to be on the chest plate of his outfit, and people seem to point to that and say, with those two things combined, it seems evident that Heimdall has or is in possession of the Soul Stone. I would say this is probably not the case. And the reason why I would say that is because Heimdall's eyes are still orange even when even when he doesn't have that orb on his chest plate in the first Thor film. Not only that, the powers of Heimdall in the Marvel Cinematic Universe are the exact same as they are in the comic books, where he basically has enhanced senses. He can see pretty much everything, he can hear pretty much everything, and he uses those abilities to basically be the Watchman for Asgard itself. Now, I think that the second theory here is the more likely of the two. My second person here is Adam Warlock. And the reason why I say Adam Warlock is because in the Marvel Comics, when Adam Warlock was first introduced, Adam Warlock didn't have a name. When he was first discovered by the Fantastic Four, he was not referred to as Adam Warlock. Instead, he was simply just referred to as him, H-I-M. More so than that, Adam Warlock has an extremely intricate history with the Soul Stone, or the Soul Gem as it's referred to in the comic books. He is the one person among all people who have ever been in possession of the Soul Stone that have a very in-depth and intimate understanding of how the Soul Stone works, what the intricate natures of its power is, what the very basis and the fundamental principle of the Soul Stone is. He's really the one person that knows that stone better than anybody else, and so it would make perfect sense that Adam Warlock would be in possession of it. Now, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we know that Adam Warlock exists. Whether we'll actually see him or not is a whole different beast, but we know that by virtue of the end credits scene in Thor the Dark World and the scene in the museum in Guardians of the Galaxy, that the cocoon of Adam Warlock was housed within the museum of Tannelir Tavan, of the Collector. That is the regenerative cocoon that Adam Warlock uses whenever he's bringing himself back to life, basically. It's a chance for him to gain his energies back into a human form, and then he emerges from this cocoon in the same way that you would expect a butterfly to emerge from a chrysalis. That's basically how Adam Warlock functions. Continuing this trend of each of these items appearing to somehow encase a Infinity Stone and being named after the letters, we're going to jump to the letter N, to the last one here. And while a lot of people are speculating, they're really not sure, they're really kind of throwing things out in the air that seem to be very, very random here, I would go as far as to say that this stone is probably in the possession of Dr. Stephen Strange, and that this stone is probably the necklace, which is the Eye of Agamotto. Now, the Eye of Agamotto is an extremely important artifact for the realm of Doctor Strange. I would go as far as to say that's probably the single most important artifact that he's in possession of, if not the most popular. The Eye of Agamotto has a vast array of different abilities for Doctor Strange. The Eye of Agamotto allows him to see through enchantments of other people. He can teleport to other dimensions. It's a very intricate aspect. He can basically open portals across the entire universe. In fact, The Eye of Agamotto played a very important role during the Infinity Gauntlet storyline, in which it was basically used by Doctor Strange to teleport the Earthbound heroes to the Shrine of Mistress Death that Thanos had built, where he was basically waging war against the universe. That's how they got there. That's how they fought Thanos, was using the Eye of Agamotto to teleport back and forth. And so it would seem to me that even if this isn't necessarily the case, there's a very fitting argument, a very reasonable argument, that the Time Stone is basically the necklace of Dr. Stephen Strange in the form of the Eye of Agamotto. But here's my question. What do you guys think? Where do you guys think that these Infinity Stones are? If you don't believe that the Soul Stone is in possession of Adam Warlock, and if you don't believe the Time Stone is in possession of Dr. Stephen Strange, then where do you think they are? Because I'm really interested to see the responses that you guys have. With that being said, we're going to bring this video to an end. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, let me know, and I will catch you guys later. Peace.